Hello? Hello? Capture 3. Mic test, mic test. Okay, there it is. Mic test. There we go. Kind of loud? Okay. Close that off. Mm. Okay. All right. Well, hopefully this one. Camera's there now. I keep switching the camera. Anyways, so today, we got a new update. HiBeam will be rolling out a new update pretty soon. We'll have few new things, but the biggest thing is adding HiBeam to the 1 kilogram roaster. So finally getting that in order. And then we also found a way to do connect the V2 to iOS devices. Right? So instead of using classic Bluetooth that it has normally and kind of crapping out on all the Mac people. So Mac people pretty much like iOS, and I think even macOS is having issues connecting with Artisan. What we did now is we have found a way to put BLE onto a V2, so you're able to use your Mac devices on it. I think there's an issue with Bluetooth with Artisan dropping out constantly, but now we have BLE Bridge that kind of acts as a way to connect it in a way that so now you can connect the V2 to a Mac device, like a Mac OS, without having it drop out on Bluetooth all the time. So instead using BLE, so it's a lot better, a lot more stable. If you wanted to do wireless, I think there's still people having issues directly connecting like an M1 silicon laptops, like the M series, whatever they're called, silicons, to Artisan via the USB. But I think by the BLE bridge, it offers a way to be wireless, kind of like how the Bluetooth is on the V2, but at the same time uses the better form of BLE. So you get to use BLE to connect. So yeah, so right now you'll be able to use your iPhone for your V2, and you'll be able to use any kind of like also wirelessly connect via Bluetooth BLE. So it's a lot Bluetooth low energy, so it's a lot easier to connect and a lot more stable than classic Bluetooth. I think those were the arguments for. I'm not sure. I still believe her that you should directly connect it, but since we don't have a really good way of directly connecting the V2 to like Macs, there's some kind of dropout issue or some kind of USB 2.0 issue. So this is just another way to connect it to more devices. But the big one is that we actually got the 1 kilogram machine on the HiBeam. So I'll show you what that setup looks like and what you would need to get to run. And it's actually pretty simple. You would just need cable with so it uses pretty much all the same things like we did before. Oh, somebody's yeah, there's a 1 kilogram machine that's out by Precision. So this is basically a 1 kilogram roaster using two lamps, or for you get like 2,000 watts. 220 volt, of course, because you can't run. You'd like trip your circuit every single time. But the only issue with it was it only had tablet and there was no HiBeam connection to it. So there was only a port for like a TC4 protocol output to go into like Artisan to connect to via laptop. And some people are okay with that, doing it that way, but now there's a way to do it wirelessly, um, using, oh, that's not it, using ESP32 and a Y split. And this is the Y splitter that does data on one side and then power on the other port. So there's two USB-A male ports. You have this is just power, so this is no data connected with it. So you can use an alternate power brick or something to power it up. This would connect to the roaster, and then this, of course, would connect to your ESP32 S3. So by using these three things, basically, you would just need to buy this cord. Everyone usually has like a leftover 5-volt power brick they can use to slap onto this. And then I just connect it to my computer and it powers it up just fine off of an old USB 2.0 port. And yeah, it runs fine. So let's see what that looks like. Back on. So generally you would have to use their tablet, which is actually better than the V2 tablet because it does track ROR in real time, and it does a lot better, and it's pretty good. Click, all that kind of stuff with there. So let's try connecting it. Let me hook up the tablet. Closer. So here's the 1 kilogram machine. You gotta bring it up higher. So this does like 800 gram batches really well. You don't put a full kilogram in it. You usually do like 80% of that. That goes right there. Oh. That's plugged in. Oh, I gotta make sure it's plugged in. Oh. Was working last night, so they are selling them, I think, now. So they are selling them. So and then it has like a little power button on the top, which is or on the side, which is a little different. So this is their little tablet. Good. So now, and it's pretty basic. It just runs like, see that, okay, but there's preheat, roast, it tracks ROR, first indicating first crack, and then it kind of sucks though because you have to I think you have to take the case off to get to the USB drive. I think, I don't know, I'm not sure, but I'm not a fan of using this, so I don't really use it too often. So I'm gonna hook up this part into here. Let me go hook this up to the computer so we can all see HiBeam. Ugh. Away. And we'll do hit window. Let me drag this window out a little. There we go. So it would just connect like you would a V1. Actually, it's kind of similar to how the V1 is ran. Anyway, so the same similar setup where you would hit here, go to Skywalker, you set it up communications, and you'll usually see something called 1 kilogram is what we named it for now. But I'll go back here. And then all this settings should be the same. So it's called BLE host, 1 kilogram is the name of the connection you would connect to. And you could do similar things. One thing you would need to do is just enable ET support, and then eventually they'll get drum feed in there when they implement it in HiBeam. So anyways, here we go. We'll do quick control. So we could turn the drum on, heater on, wait for the heater to go. So basically have full control. So if we wanted to start a roast, the preheat doesn't work because we haven't added the implementation for it, but and it just starts normally like you would do a Skywalker, just a lot bigger. Well, I guess I'll let this warm up and we'll do a roast with it. Let me know if you have any questions or anything you want to see. Right now, this is like one of the first models. I've had it for a while. I was testing things and making sure I give my feedback, and so far it's been okay. There's been some issues with the drum motor a few times. I think they fixed it so far. This has an early planetary motor in the back. I think that's the motor they're going to stick with, but it's a long, looks like a 36 millimeter, some kind of 36 millimeter planetary brushless motor. And I still think you could control the speed technically. Like if I were to go in a terminal. And if I really wanted to get in the thick of it, I could just put like drum. I think it's drum 100. There you go. Or maybe. Yeah, I think that controls the speed a little bit. That's how usually the drum is managed with the Skywalker. Surprisingly similar. Anyways, we'll let this preheat. You got to be mindful because this is technically not ran by a PID system, so I got to make sure I take this off. That's mostly because the PID system's not in place yet. Anyways, we'll do 800 grams on this, see how it goes. But I haven't used this in a while because I usually don't have like 800 grams of beans on me. Like that much. Usually not. But I do have some I want to use. I also want to test out if they're still having a drum pausing issue, which I think they told me they fixed already, but who knows. Now I just got to scrounge up 800 grams worth of beans. And I think this unit now runs about 1,500. So this costs as much as a M2, but of course, or a Kaleido M2. But of course, you're not dealing with the quality issues you would get from Akimato or the Skywalker kind of series. And then yes, code with Damien asks, if you set to 201 temperature, do you wait until the beans or just do it right away? I set it to 200 for my charge. I'll just tell you now, the PID is not working to set the temperature that way. EP's pretty high too. So I'm just kind of preheating the drum. I should probably lower this down. And I probably should lower this fan down. It's just wicking away heat. Like, and it's kind of loud too. But we'll let this warm up. You know, with this setup, it's usually with how they set it up, it's always 100% to the bulbs. So you're going full send, and then you're just working those bulbs out to the max, or those lamps out to the max. So I don't you shouldn't go to 100. And I think they're gonna make certain changes in the next HiBeam to have like a, because they have a jump protection feature, and then they're probably gonna add like a lamp protection feature where it just prevents you from constantly preheating at 100%. Oh. I think if you click that, it just comes here. I'm not sure. Sorry, that's a question in Discord. But if you're in the chat and do you see the video, Mr. Nolan? All right, so it's going up a little high, so I'm just gonna kill the heat right now. Just kind of let it kind of let the temperatures equalize a little bit. I'll probably have that temperature drop, and then I'm gonna put some beans in. Let me God, I really hope this is 800. Oh, this is pea berry too. Damn, I really don't want to use that. Oh, there. I got 800 grams left of this geisha, so let's Hope this won't mess up. So there are a few issues with the machine, the early design of the machine, and it's mostly just the drum stopping randomly, but they said they fixed that with the new firmware. I doubt it because they don't change firmware, so I think I have to keep an eye on that in case it dies again. Bike for Life, is it coming on is it coming, the video coming on all? They did a lot of new things on Discord where you like have to provide a picture ID verification. I don't know if that started and it's causing all these recent issues. So while we let that warm up, I'm going to fill this up to I'm going to shoot for a medium for this because I've been getting a lot. I really prefer this being medium. I tried light even with my Nano 7 and I wasn't impressed. Like sometimes, like if there was this one light roast, I think it was a Yurgachev that had like, that was known for like these blueberry bombs or whatever, and I could really taste those like blueberry notes. This one's not so much. I mean, not that it has blueberry notes, but I couldn't taste like those fruitier notes. So I'm gonna do 800 grams. Spilling beans. That's gonna be a lot of. Oh, and then I need to start my airwave. So I'm gonna bring this back up. All right. In the Streamlab, okay. It might be restricting videos on the Discord, which kind of sucks, but I'll have to figure all that out. Okay. So someone asked, I wish the V2 can permanently turn on Bluetooth to bypass using the controller. So yeah, that's what this new update does with ESP32. It actually bypasses the whole tablet, and it uses the the top serial port to kind of communicate back and forth to either Artisan or HiBean. And this allows us to kind of work with the Mac devices, and also allows us to work with Mac as iOS, I think. So yeah, it's relatively easy to install. You just need the ESP32S3, and I'm going to show you how you could do it. And you just need this Y splitter. And then on the next HiBean, well, first you need the Y splitter, and then you would need the BLE bridge. So you would need two ESP32s, which usually comes down to like $8 a pop. If you wanted to do it that way. Right now we're running the V2 just kind of like it would be like a V1 until HiBean adds it in for BLE Bluetooth section, BLE V2 section. And I don't know when that update's going to happen, but right now that's how we're all hooking it up. We're all pretending like it's a V1. So we don't have really jump control right now. So we got to work on that. It'll come, the jump control will come when the implementation of V2 BLE works. And that's coming up. I don't know when Will's going to put it up, but he'll put up the update soon enough. I'm using the one that's on beta right now, I believe. Anyways, I'm gonna let this keep warming up, and also I'll show you how to do it too, and put the BOM or the bill of materials of what you would need to do the mod, and it's really just a Y splitter mod, and you don't even need like a power brick for it because it just connects to the other USB and it feeds off of that 5-volt, so it's still all in one. You just need a bit of a weird cable and then a V and an ESP32. So I'm gonna keep letting that warm up. I'll do that after we do this batch. You'll see how it goes with this 1 kilogram machine. See what I need to do and if I need to add any fixes or a new motor to it. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping this it just works and I'll be okay. But rarely does that ever happen. Just right now, the firmware that will be available when we post it up, when Bear posts it up. So there's Bear. He's the guy that I've been testing his firmware. We've been going back and forth. I think he's opposite side of the world from me, basically. So we go back and forth, and we are able to he was able to develop the firmware, and I'm just testing it. And so far, everything I asked him to do, he's doing it. Can't really blame him. He surprisingly gets to me really fast. Like he'll set up he'll do the code, he'll send me the bin file, then I run it. Back up. All right. I think that's been a long enough preheat time. So once this is back up to 85%, we'll charge it up and see how it goes. And if you want this, I think you have to order it through, for US, I think it's Precision. Precision Roasters are selling it. I'll put the link in. Find the website. Put the link in. The price for this roaster, it went up. They were shooting for sub 1,000 before the tariffs hit, so we were kind of buzzed about that. But now it's gone up for sure. 1,499. Here's their website. If you really want to buy one, try it out. Be one of the first, I guess. Put that link in here. Yeah. So this is basically the same unit. And then if you get one and did they change that plug? Okay, I guess that's. I don't know what NEMA plug that is. Yeah, 22240. So this should work. I don't know how much delivery is either. Let me bring this to the side real quick. Although a lot of you have my address anyways. Yeah, I'll do this later. I want to say it's like $100 of shipping or something like that. right, so all right, I'm gonna do this one more time, and I swear I'm gonna drop the beans in. So environmental temperature. Oh, that's right. I gotta start my airwave. Because this place is gonna smoke up real quick. DI fluid. All right, that's going on. Let me make sure my thing's in. I don't want to be gone when that goes up to 200, so I'm gonna drop that now. That's the best way to get this stupid thing to stay. That works. I need to get a hood. I'm gonna set up a hood next time. I'm gonna 3D print a hood, and then I'm just gonna use that. So I got my airwave running. Should be fine. We're gonna bring this back up past 200, then we'll do a drop. I think the motor is gonna something's gonna happen with the motor. I'm pretty sure they haven't solved that issue yet, so we'll see. They told me to add like some stuff to it so the motor could run, but we'll see what happens. Told me to add some bushing or bearings or something. Not bearings. What are those called? Spacers. I'll make sure the door is closed. All right, we're at 201, 202. I'm gonna drop. Charge. See, I knew it was gonna happen. They didn't fix it. There we go. And I think that might be due to the firmware. Now that I think about it, because usually last time I didn't have to restart it that. It didn't restart that fast. So this is one of the very first units I was sent to the US, I think.
Turning point detected.
Let me move this out the way. Oh, I should have took out that background curve too. Sorry. I think that's still the curve predictor. It doesn't really work that well. It keeps saying it's crashing, but obviously it's not. Also, I'm not shooting for a declining ROR. I'm sticking to these a little bit of a different system where I'm sticking to just like a plateau. I'm gonna do less changes and just do plateaus to kind of match what the natural ROR curve happens when you do like constant heat and constant air. I remember someone told me they had good success with lightly roasting on the V2 using 250 grams. And they did some kind of way. I think Val and Haha Sky did something. How they do their light roast. So I'm gonna try that today too. What time is it? I know, 10:26. I'm roasting pretty early today. So I'm gonna check if browning's happening. A little bit of green, a little bit of hay. I don't like the trier either. It's very shallow. So here I'm gonna start dropping the temp a little bit. Or dropping the lamp power, that is. Or dropping the lamp power. I'm gonna drop the lamp power again. I want to elongate this phase. Now, last time I roasted with this, it did stop mid roast. So I'm trying to see if I could recreate that. It's just very expensive thing to recreate. Yeah, damn, we already went to 170? I always get to this phase and I can't stay longer than 3 minutes or under 2 minutes. I'm trying to extend this phase out. I need to drop the heat a lot lower next time. But we're already hitting first crack. You can really hear it too. I have a lot of thermal momentum moving into that. Yeah, I need a hood for this roaster. So I'm gonna shoot for a 2-minute mark for after first crack. I'm at minute 45, still cracking along. Oh, I'm hoping I can reach 200 by the time it gets there. That looks good. All right. Perfect. Nice. So I'm gonna drop the beans. I think a little bit more things need to be worked on the firmware. I think, yeah, because the jump went off again. I gotta ask Bear about that. Bear's gonna watch this video later. Because I noticed when I did a drop, I don't know if there was a command that happened that suddenly turned the drum off. Well, that's kind of weird. But I'll double check with them. Oh, I probably should mix this up. I think I could still turn the drum off when it's like that, so. Okay. All right, after this, I'm gonna let this cool off and I'm gonna show you how we're gonna do the V2 setup. Very similar. It's basically just as easy as setting up a V1 system. A V1's ESP32S3. Yeah, it doesn't look like my airwave could keep up because there's my VOX sensor went off. So now I'm breathing toxic air. And I think there's been improvements with the fan when it comes to the bean cooling. Yeah. It's still a little hot, so I'm gonna move it there. So I'll have to double check. So reminder to tell Bear that the drum turned off at charge, and then the drum turned off at a drop. But other than that, those are the only times that the drum stops. So we gotta figure out if it's a firmware issue or it's the roaster issue. pretty much, oh, a little one there. But yeah, looks pretty much cool to touch. Move it around a bit. There's like a warm spot right in the middle. Cool. So let's go. We're going to switch over now to here. I only have one of those cables. I have to disconnect this cable and then pray that it'll keep cooling it down. All right. All right, so this is a V2. Over here, let me go switch my cameras. So now we got a V2 here. You can usually tell it's a V2 when it has the two ports at the bottom. So the bottom port is for the controller, top port is for the artisan connection. Drop this down a bit. So what you pretty much need is we got the Y splitter, right? So you got power, data, and then ESP32, okay? So this will go here, and this will go here. Because now it's drawing power from the 5-volt from there. Because this one is only like 3.3 on the top. So you can't really draw, you don't have enough to power up ESP32. So now we get something like this, and then we just update it like we normally would with our ESP32s, okay? So the ESP32, usually they come in boot, like bootloader mode or whatever, but sometimes you have to press boot and then reset, or you could just hold boot. Sometimes I'll just hold boot and hit reset and let go, and it should go into bootloader mode. And this is connected to my computer, so I'm doing the same kind of setup we did before. So we go to our favorite little website, web ESP Home IO. I hit connect, then I'll give you guys, but then we always do with ESP32, it's always USB JTAG for the zeros and the super minis. And then hit install, choose file, and you'll have, for me, it's going to be, right now, this is the working version. So you'll get a working version. We'll upload the working version soon. Probably like 2.4 or 2.5. And hit install, just like you normally would.
Turn off the bean cooler on this. Turn the cooling off. All right, so that's installed. I'm gonna go ahead, grab that ESP32. Just gonna plug it in like that. So now I gotta plug it in, right? Plug it in right in there. Right. Nope. Yeah, because what happens if you were to connect it just to the top port? You only get just enough to power up the LED, which usually indicates it's like 3.3 volts. All right, we're gonna hook this one at the bottom. I'm gonna let that run for a bit. Turn this off. Loud. All right. So now let's go back to HiBean. I'm gonna delete. You don't have to do it. You do it and set up. Ah. You're gonna need to clear out your list and just device it. Check my. Good. Go ahead. We're gonna add for this setup for it's gonna change over time. By the time the update comes, you're probably gonna have to go through Skywalker Delta, and I'll have a BLE section. I'll have classic Bluetooth and BLE. But for now, we're just using Skywalker to connect to it. That's how we kind of tricked it to working. Oh, sometimes to find the ESP32. So it'll be called BLE host Delta. Hit add. And then you gotta connect to it. And it starts up. I'm gonna do that again. Tablet body faster. So let me go delete this. Power that. So what I did was plug this back in, it boots up, goes full power. And then add it like I would normally do. So like this section versus Skywalker Delta, it's gonna eventually have like a Skywalker BLE section. But right now
we're just kind of using this Skywalker original setup to get it working. Set it. In. Give it a second, and then I'll be up. So BLE host Delta is probably the name we're going to be using. Pairing complete. Reconnect. It usually does what it every time it does like a handshake via TC4, it automatically turns the drum on and the heater on for V2. So that's always been a V2 issue. So, but you can, of course, you could go back in, turn it off, turn it on. Drum commands are coming at a later time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set off high temp drum protection. I'm also going to add enable ET support. Good. We'll hit start.
Preheat flow. Auto heating to 201.0 degrees.
And we'll do this roast. Okay. And so now I'm basically running the V2 without the tablet, which is a plus. And I'm running ESP32S3 as over BLE. So if I wanted to, I could do something like this, where I'll add my BLE bridge. I have BLE bridge that the last updated one. I'm just gonna plug this in. And we have one for this ESP32S3 kit, and then this is called like the dev kit, I think. NR8 or NR16, I can't remember. And then we will go to Artisan. And you could upload the last like Skywalker Delta. I think it's V2.se. Just make sure you change it from the Celsius mode. That's correct. Sometimes we go back to the good old Imperial system. We'll check like port, then whatever. It's usually a higher COM. So this is COM 29. Hit OK. Hit on. Awesome. Connect. Okay. One connection at a time again. I'll have to ask him about that. Anyways, so now you can tell that it's on Artisan now. So for all those people who had Bluetooth, who are doing wireless classic Bluetooth, and we're getting all those drops, whether it be from the unit itself or maybe you're on a Mac and it keeps dropping it. If you do it by BLE, it actually thinks it's like a USB serial port, I think. You don't have to do any of that weird like connect to that Bluetooth classic thing and pretend it's a virtualized serial port. And now you have like access to it from, you know, your MacBook or your
iPad or iPhone. I'm gonna try to bring this back. Turn this off. Is that it? God damn, that was quick. Okay, that works. We'll start the preheat, and then we'll try roasting on this today, okay?
0 degrees Celsius.
Oh. Ugh. Go this way. Right? Bring the airwave over here. I'm gonna do something a little different. I'm gonna do a 250 gram batch. We're gonna try a different approach. If I can display the approach that people are using. We're gonna try this approach today. 250 gram. Let's see what the rule. Let's see what the rules are. Not rules, but what they are thinking of doing. So low charge weight, 250C, low charge temp of 150, low fan, very minimal, tipping or scorching, flat ROR. I try to make it flat, like 2 hills, and then I just do fan up around 50 during first crack. We're gonna try this. We're gonna try it with these geishas that I have. Because dadgummit, I'm gonna have me a good light roast. Now, yes, I am weighing my beans on a Kaleido bean cooler. Heresy at its finest. That's another big issue. Oh. Anytime I get this thing close to the wires down there, it like causes a little bit of EMI. This. Waiting for it to connect again. Technical difficulty. Oh. So yeah, okay. So we got to update a little bit. Update on the BLE bridge. I figured it was I think it was interrupting the BLE connection. That's the only new thing I did. All right, back on it. So yeah, I think I have to tell Bear to help, not help, but take a look at the BLE bridge because I kind of did this weird fighting of connections. So 250. That's good. We're gonna wait till this warms up. I gotta figure out how many beans to put on here. Now, this approach I think works better if it's like a near infrared bulb. 'Cause that's what Haha Sky usually uses. He's a Taiwanese vendor that sells these units. He sells highly modified versions of it. So they come with like, he was doing like double amp units for a bit. He's doing a lot of like custom setups. But yeah, so low charge temp. So we'll try charging at 150. Already went up above that. Where am I at now? Oh, right there. So let's pull it off there. Let me make sure this is all set up. I'll wait till the ET warms up. Let this preheat for a bit. Put that in there. And we're gonna follow this. So he changes like once. After the that was far away from. He spends a lot of time in that first phase. I feel like he should be more in the other phase. But we're gonna try this out. We're gonna see how it goes. Like he spends a bit of time in the drying phase and then kind of doesn't do much after. In the browning phase, he's there for like 2 minutes. And then 49 seconds after first crack. I wonder what this is going to be like. Just do fan up around 50 during first crack. Heat is straightforward. Good light roast, sweet and mellow acidity. All right. We're going to go for it. Oh, low fan. What fan did he keep it at? I kept the fan around. It doesn't tell you. 10? Jesus Christ. All right. And then bump it up to 50 after first crack. All right. I believe in Val. Val has a, I think he has a nano. So I know he knows, he's pretty well versed in light roast. So if he says that he's getting better light roast this way, I'm gonna be really interested to see what happens. And we are set up at around, what did he do? Did 50% heat. Got it. All right. That. We're gonna go 50% heat. All right. We'll load this up. And then, that's good. Got use what you got, right? So I got a funnel. Dump it in. Good. I'm gonna let go like I did last time. All right, I'm gonna hit charge. Let's dump that in. Gonna hit heater. So this is what a 250 gram batch. Low fan, which is not normal. And then we're gonna have a very interesting ROR. He has that 50%, so he holds it steady till about, when does he drop it? Drops it once and twice. Right before first crack. Right in the middle of this long phase. Of the first phase. For sure, I fucked that up. I've left the cooling fan on. I can't believe I didn't hear it. $11:09, making time. What hit? What hit at that? What time was his? 7 minutes 23. Okay. So this is a very steady heat roast, I guess. had what, a 45-second first crack? It looks yellow. You hit first crack around 172. I find that interesting. We'll find out if it does hit 172. How long was this roast? 10 minutes. Run ahead. Probably hit that pretty quick. All right, so here's our light roast experience on the V2. Less than a minute after first crack. Here in first crack yet? I need to hear for this first crack. I don't know if it would be low or high. Not really working. Trying to listen to first crack. Oh shit. There it is. And here, one more. Okay, first crack. Then you said to bring it up to 50. We're gonna, will we leave this at 40? We'll do it for a minute. Or less than a minute, like 49 seconds. How did he do it long? He did 49 seconds. Okay. Stop. That was a 14-minute roast. Not sure how that's gonna go. Always down to experiment, I guess. How was it? We could try that again. I messed up in the beginning. I left my bean cooling fan on, which is a big no-no because it's just whisking, you know, it's kind of cooling off the whole drum. Give that a shot again. Buy a hood. Buy a hood. Stop doing these ghetto setups. I don't know why I'm fighting this. I should just put this on. All right, let's try that low roast again. I'm gonna see if it actually works. I'm just chasing my tail. Okay, I need to get a new batch of beans. It's not gonna break the bank. I'm gonna save this. Keep that running. Good. Good. I'll close this off. Good. We'll get that back to 150 and then we'll do it again. But this time I'm going to turn that off, this cooling fan off. That might have been causing us some issues with cool down, or with cooling down the beans. All right. Should wake Val up and just tell him to send me the QR. But this should be relatively quick. It'll warm back up. Okay, it's at 150. We're just gonna send this sucker. So 250. We'll switch the fan to about 10. Actually, oh, let's wait. So that pulls down. It's fan. Hold up. So I'm just trying to cool off the drum. If anything, I'll get a hot chamber to be able to do a fast party roast, a fast quick roast. I hope. That's closed. That's closed. Going in.
Preheat ended. Turn off PID.
All right. So now we're gonna see how it does if I do it this way, without the cooling fan kind of cooling off the drum. The bean cooling fan cooling off the drum. It did come out extremely light. The taste one. Hmm. Not bad.
Turning point detected.
Doesn't taste grassy. It's kind of flowery. Oh, let me go back to this chat. Okay, well now we're cruising along. Plateau. Okay, I like the plateauing a lot better on this. green still. Still green. There you go. A little more yellow. Waiting for first crack now. I don't think it's coming to 187 degrees Celsius, so we'll see. Make a flat, make a flat. Sorry. Flat, flat. Yeah, it's like on cue. 187. And then 188, it'll start pop, pop, pop. There it is. This will go 40. This will go down by 40. Then I'll hit it for like a minute. Like 30 seconds in, I'll even jump up the fan up to 50. So shooting for these light roasts. We'll see how it goes. Okay, I didn't even notice ETROR. I was wondering what that pink one was. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. I should drop it. All right. We got two good looking, pretty good light roasts. They're definitely light. Not gonna sure how big of a fan I am, but we'll see. So I've been playing with more light roasts. I'm trying to get there, see if I really like it. A lot of people say I'm missing out, so we'll see. So, all right. So V2 is working just fine on the new BLE thing. So we'll try releasing the firmware soon and getting a lot more people on getting all the iOS and Mac people on it. Then we have the 1 kilogram roaster that's working really well on HiBean. So far so good. Only big concerns are those two stops that charge and drop, and I feel like that's more of a firmware thing than an actual issue with this roaster. Because yeah, every time I hit those two different stages, the drum would just turn off automatically. So there's something going on with firmware wise. I'll have to talk to someone about that. Anyways, if you stayed this long, you're a trooper. I appreciate it. Still more stuff to come. I did order a M1 Lite, and we're gonna play with that. Also, we're gonna do some logic analyzing on it whenever it comes, and figure out how to stop that artisan stuff from happening, or the artisan dropouts happening with Bluetooth. It's been going on for years. It was happening with the V2 with a lot of people on Mac, but I think we could solve it with the artisan bridge, BLE bridge. So that'll be fun to kind of work on. And then I'm also taking a peek at this new US made roaster called Rex Roaster. He's actually a local guy here, so I'm gonna come check it out, take some videos of it, and then see how well it roasts. He said he ran out of green beans, so I'm kind of feeling a little funky about that. He's also selling this prototype for like a few G's, so I might purchase it just to see how it is, or at least play with it. Maybe bring a pound of beans over, or 2 pounds of beans over, and see what we could do. I'm just really want to test it out, and that'd be cool if I can, if he'll let me. He also has some artisan graphs I could look at too, so he has it all set up on artisan. But yeah, I really definitely into like US made roasters. All right, well, that'll be it for today. Hopefully you got some information. I'm going to cut this video. I'm going to try cutting it, making it smaller, so it just focuses on adding 1 kilogram roaster to HiBean, and then adding the V2 to HiBean via BLE. All right. Anyways, if you have any questions, concerns, hit us up on Discord. I'm barely on Facebook. Every time I'll go on Facebook, it's always It's always fun. It's always fun dealing with those reports. So, anyways, thanks for joining. I'll talk to you later. And if you need to, catch me on Discord. See ya.